This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Yes. Thank you for listening, and I do hope you enjoy the show. My name's John Solberg, and I get to be your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And I get to tell you that this show is brought to you by Green Mountain Grills. And for more than 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene and backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the public game. Their newly redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grills blend the proven technology of the past with the technology of the future. Green Mountain Grills is the original innovator of all things Wi-Fi. Don't listen to anybody else. And they're going to continue to give the user granular options to control their grills in any environment from anywhere. They also lead the pack in accessories. They got pizza ovens, they got rotisseries, they got side burners, they got all kinds of stuff. Check all this out over and more. Check all this out and more over at greenmountaingrills.com. We're going to jump into a show with Greg's first non-related in-studio guest.
Billy Carroll from Do-Rag Barbecue is now sitting in. He's actually the first person into the studios that is not related to me. Not a mom, not a dad. None of my brothers have actually decided to come on the show, and they live here in Cleveland, so that's either saying a lot about your host or the fact they have no interest in barbecue. Probably I'll go with both of those.
Yeah.
Do you know something I don't? You were just saying, yeah?
No.
Okay.
But your brother did say a few
Right,
things, yeah.
right. So let's go ahead and turn the tables and interview the guy sitting in the guest seat tonight.
Whoa, who's that?
That's you.
Oh.
We're going to interview Do-Rag. Now, we were talking before we actually went on the air, you are one of, how many other team members do you have? Three. So you're a team of four?
No, I'm sorry. There's three, including me.
All right.
So two additional.
Team of three.
Team of three. There's me. Then there's my neighbor Gary Nickelback Lackey, and Richard Old Hairy Man Finley.
Is there a story to Nickelback and Hairy Man?
Well, Gary looks a lot like that Chad Kroger guy or whatever his name is that sings with Nickelback.
I don't mean to offend.
Kroger, or I don't know.
Yeah, Kroger. Yeah, I don't mean to offend your friend.
Okay.
But that dude is ugly.
Okay, well, I'm just making a point.
I think he was voted one of the ugliest guys ever, like 2 or 3 years ago.
So we call him Nickelback a lot, and then Richard, if you've ever seen Richard with his shirt off, you would understand.
Is he one of those guys? Are you wearing a sweater?
Man, it's Sasquatch.
Take the sweater off. It's hot,
dude. Man,
I do have my sweater on.
Yeah, but they're great guys. They're the Do and Do-Rag Q.
Now, how do you come up? Inevitably, you read through the team names that we have on any sanctioning body, and they're either homoerotic or they have some reference to grabbing butts or injecting this or that or the do-rag Q or whatever the case may be. How does the name surface? Where does this? Is this after a long night of drunken stupor you come up with do-rag because that's what you puked in, or where does it come from?
No. We puke in just about anything, but our do-rags, we don't do that. But,
right.
Now, I'm a biker, so I always wore a do-rag. Actually, it started because I'm a little bald on the top here. So when I'm out mowing the grass or something, I wear something to – I don't like hats, so I started wearing do-rags. So then the biker thing came along, and the next thing I know, I'm barbecuing with the do-rag on. And so after the first year, we kind of struggled with a name, and I got to thinking about it and what's uniquely me? And people call me Do-Rag a lot, so I'm like, hey, Do-Rag Q. So it kind of worked,
Did you have to submit that for approval with the other teammate, or how do you actually? Did you tell these other guys, hey, I'm thinking about starting a team, and you want to jump in, or how does the talk of a team formation start? I mean, people want to know the hard questions, how the hell do you form a barbecue competition cooking team?
Well, here's how it started. I mean, friends will tell you anything to get food. So I started cooking, and friends would come over and they go, "Oh man, this is the best stuff I've ever eaten."
Ever?
I'm like, whatever. You can't bullshit me. I'm the bullshitter, right? So, they said, well, you got to do these contests. So me and a buddy that's no longer on my team, Jeff, Big Jeff, we did a contest, and we didn't finish last. We did all right. And here's one of my favorite stories about that contest. We showed up, and we had brisket and we had ribs, and it was a big contest. There was 90-something teams. It was at the Opryland Hotel deal, and Fiddling, Brewing, and Barbecuing back in 2006. And this is my favorite part of the story. The meat inspector was Fred Gould, and if you know anything about the barbecue community, you know who Fred Gould was. And so Fred looked at my meat, and he goes, you got brisket and you got ribs. Where's your chicken and pork? And we didn't cook any. We don't do it. He said, son, you need to go get something. Turn something in. You're going to finish last.
You didn't bring it on purpose.
No, I mean I never cooked. I never barbecued chicken. Well, I mean I burnt chicken on the grill, you know. And I don't really like pork. I've learned to appreciate it. But so anyway, he sent me to the store because you got to go get something, turn something in. Well, you know what? We came back out of 93 teams. We finished 52nd. Not great, but you know what? Our expectations. We wanted to finish like second to last. We just didn't want to finish last. So I'm fired up. So over the winter months, I kind of figure out I want to do this and form a real team. And a couple of weeks before the first contest, my buddy Jeff says, I've got some other things going on. I don't think I want to do this. So
step your game up.
Yeah, I'm over across the street crying, on Gary's shoulder about this. Like, hey, I need somebody to do this. And Gary said, well, I'll go with you. I'm not doing anything next week.
Right.
And, next thing you know, he's hooked. So, and then we ran into Richard down the way. So, the next thing you know, we got a team. I had the name before Gary and
so
Richard.
The team name wasn't up for vote.
No,
it was established.
It's
and
a
they
dictatorship here. What I say goes. I'm the boss man.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
All right. So then you get going. I still can't believe you show up to the competition just with two meats.
Well, I didn't know any better. I'd never been to one before.
Okay, so you didn't know you were supposed to bring
No.
two additional categories.
No.
Oh, all right. No thought about looking at like the rules and stuff like that.
No, rules are made to be broken.
What do you show up with to cook?
Oh,
Gas grill?
No, man. I had like a charcoal gig.
Right.
Bandera something. New Braunfels Bandera. That's what it was.
All right. So, and then right after that, you knew you were hooked and you were going to start. Did you realize at that point you're kind of dealing with inferior cooking equipment?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing we did during the winter is I went back to Texas and got my grandfather's pit that he'd given to me, and it's a trailer smoker. It's homemade, and we struggled with that all year. But I wanted to fulfill a promise I made to him that I'd cook on it all year, and so we did that. And then the following year, we finally stepped up to the plate and bought a little better smoker, and so now we cook on FE 100s now. They're great cookers. So that's what we use for our competition.
How many competitions are you doing in a year now?
We were scheduled to do somewhere between 15 and 20 this year. It kind of depends.
And one of the other things that I did want to mention is you're a team that is technically sponsored. And when you look at the teams that are doing this kind of weekend in, weekend out, some of these guys are still kind of just paying right out of their own pocket. There's no sponsorship that they have been able to acquire, whether they want to or not. Some people have been approached before, and they don't want to have any type of constraints put on them. They want to do what they want to do during the course of the weekend, and that's that.
Sure.
Other teams are actively seeking sponsorship and just haven't been able to land anybody. You guys have been lucky enough to land a couple. You have Early Times and a few other ones. Did you guys decide we're good enough to start going out and asking for sponsorship? Did somebody from one of these companies see you guys and found something magical about you and said, hey, we'd like to sponsor you? And how do you strike up a relationship?
You want to know how Billy got some sponsors? I'm sure a lot of the rules of today applied back then and vice versa. Head over to the BBQCentralShow.com. Link in today's show notes will take you to this complete episode. Billy Do-Rag Carroll, the first in-studio guest that was not a relative of Mr. Rempe. Go check this out. You want to get a hold of me? Here's how you do it. John, Jon, John, at the BBQCentralShow.com. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.